Welcome to Clocking In, Voices of NC Manufacturing. I'm your host, Phil Mintz, Director of the North Carolina Manufacturing Extension Partnership, otherwise known as NCMEP. My role is to drive outreach to NC manufacturers, build relationships to federal and state leaders, and coordinate efforts to drive profitable manufacturing growth in North Carolina. Throughout my time working closely with manufacturers, I have heard the most quirky, curious, and memorable stories. I wanted to turn these stories into a podcast so that others may hear and be informed and inspired. From humble beginnings to manufacturing titans, from tragedy to triumph, I will be interviewing some of these manufacturers who have made North Carolina manufacturing the powerhouse that it is today. Home to more than 700 life science companies, North Carolina currently ranks third in the nation for biotechnology. With its robust infrastructure, skilled workforce, and supportive business environment, the state has become a hotspot for companies looking to establish or expand their biomanufacturing operations. BioWork is a certificate program that can lead to an entry-level position as a process technician. Students will learn the foundational skills needed for a career with biotechnology, pharmaceutical, or chemical manufacturing. The program is designed to cater to various student backgrounds and career goals. Today I'm speaking with Dr. Lisa Smelser of Central Carolina Community College. Dr. Smelser is the program director of the BioWork Industry Training Program at CCCC, and she has earned her bachelor's in biology from Central Michigan University, master's, doctorate. She knows all things. And we're also at the same time speaking with Tracy Schoolcraft, who's the plant engineering lead at Pfizer nearby here in Sanford, North Carolina. And Pfizer makes products for vaccines and gene therapy. And again, we're glad to have both of you join us today. How are you doing?
Doing good.
All right. So Lisa, let's start with you. I mean, BioWork is, again, a program that's kind of, I guess, statewide. Several colleges do that. Kind of talk about the reasons why that program's in place.
Absolutely. So BioWork, when you hear that term, whether it's at Central Carolina or another community college, we have a standardized curriculum that industry helped us design and build, which I think is one of the special things about BioWork. And as you mentioned, it trains people to be process technicians. It's a short course, so it gets people into the workforce quickly, which I think is exciting for people, and it provides us an opportunity to have them also transition into our degree program so that they have the opportunity to grow in their career.
Pfizer's here nearby, and of course, everybody has workforce challenges. Tracy, can you talk a bit about, the reasons why you interact with this program?
Yeah, we interact with this program. It helps us at all levels that we for positions at Pfizer. It helps with building that foundation to bring in those with very little experience, but they can get the BioWorks program. It gives them a good foundation to come in, so we don't have to train them on the basic items, that they can kind of hop right in, get training on the floor, and get started and help make an impact right away.
So BioWork is a very interesting and complex, biomanufacturing industry, of course. I mean, you can't just show up and just go to work there. And oftentimes there's like clean rooms and all of that. Can you talk about the environment at Pfizer, Tracy, and why it's important for students to have like specialized training?
So for us, the specialized training helps with that basic understanding of the clean room, that you can't just go in anywhere. You have to gown up appropriately. You have to make sure that, you wash your hands and you put your gloves on in the right order. And for those that have been in the industry for 15 years, sometimes it's hard to train someone on that because you've been doing it for so long, it's second nature. So with the BioWorks program, it builds that foundation so that we don't have, if people just come in and start doing it, actually creates investigations and could impact the product. So having that basic training kind of helps them stop, think, and be able to ask the right questions as well. Because sometimes if you don't know, with no experience, you don't even know what questions to ask. So the BioWorks even helps get that in their head so they even can kind of ask the questions to make sure they're doing the right thing.
So, Dr. Smelser, what was involved in getting that program established and linking up with the companies that need it?
So we reestablished BioWork at Central Carolina Community College in January of 2020. just in time for the pandemic.
Yeah.
But it was really important to get that rolling because of that great need in the biopharmaceutical industry. The industry created and vetted curriculum was essential. If that curriculum hadn't already been established, we wouldn't be where we are today. And what we have grown into is having a biotechnology industry leadership team that provides us specific analysis on knowledge, skills, and abilities that partners like Pfizer need for entry-level process technicians. So we're able to take it a step further and make sure that we're doing a full curriculum analysis, not just BioWork, but our degree program, to make sure that we're training a right skilled workforce.
Yeah, and it seems like there's just a growing need in that area all along. We mentioned how many companies are around the state involved in that. And Tracy, I spoke about Pfizer and their work in vaccines, and I guess we all kind of understand that, but I don't think all of us really, understand how much work is done in gene therapy. I mean, can you talk a little bit about kind of the products that you make and what they might be used for?
So one of the ones right now is for, we call it Duchenne's muscular dystrophy, is for a gene therapy therapeutic. And what makes gene therapy different than the vaccine side is typically the patient is almost like a one and done type thing, but there's also a smaller population that needs it. So your batch sizes are actually worth a lot more than you would on the vaccine side. And so it's definitely a different intricate process. It's a different thought process when you're making it, but it's also an unknown as well, since it's our facility. We're still working through kind of understanding the process, but at the same time trying to get it to the clinic as quick as possible so we can make a difference.
So, but vaccines is kind of really understood now. It's kind of how that happens.
Yeah, well, one of our vaccines we've been making for the last 20 years. So from a process understanding, it's there. You kind of anything that goes wrong, it's either happened before or we can kind of help troubleshoot it. Gene therapy, it's a little bit more outside the box thinking with it and trying to understand a little bit more. That's a different space that we're used to be in.
Well, as an older guy, I have to take a lot of vaccines these days. So, what kind? Will I take anything that comes from Pfizer?
So what we make at the Sanford site is part of the Prevnar 20 vaccine. So that should be something. And then we have a lot of clinical material that comes through. The other piece that we make is our carrier protein that is actually used in other vaccines that are made at our Belgium site or our Grange Castle site. So we're kind of the foundation that goes into other vaccines.
So I guess it's nice to have a Central Carolina Community College nearby to recruit from. What are the other companies around here that you support, Lisa?
Absolutely. So I think a lot of people are looking for local opportunities to work where they live. Astellas Gene Therapies is another company where we have graduates at. And then if we think more regionally, the Holly Springs area is also booming with biomanufacturing. Securus, we've got a lot of our graduates there, vaccine manufacturing, and Amgen and Fujifilm are moving operations to Holly Springs as well. Research Triangle Park, where Biogen is just 45 minutes away from Sanford. So lots of local opportunities, and when you think a little bit more regionally within a 45-minute commute, opportunities are endless.
Yeah. So there's a lot of need with workforce. How do you convince someone to work in this field rather than go do other things that are needed, like make automobiles there's a lot of things going on around here. And so what's so attractive about this biomedical field? Tracy?
I think for someone, you're making a difference. You're making a difference in someone's life, maybe not directly, but that you know, or someone else that you know. So everyone, even at work, has a different passion or a different story of why they're there. And I think that tugs on people's either heartstrings, that you're going to work with a purpose. And every day you can see a batch going out the door that's going to go into a healthy patient or help save someone's life.
Is that similar reasons why you're in this work?
100%. And it makes my day to see students come in our door and really embrace the training that we're providing and then see them connect to that passion, their why. And we get some people who are unsure of their career path but want to help people. And this is a great career for folks who maybe don't want to interact with patients directly but still want to help people.
So I've been talking with Dr. Lisa Smeltzer of Central Carolina Community College. She is the program director of the BioWork Industry Training Program here at the college, and also been speaking with Tracy Schoolcraft, who's a plant engineering lead at Pfizer nearby. So thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining today's Clocking In, Voices of NC Manufacturing. This podcast is brought to you by NC State's College of Engineering, the North Carolina Manufacturing Extension Partnership, and Industry Expansion Solutions. If you'd like to learn more about the solutions NCMEP offers, go to www.ncmep.org. Want to listen to previous Clocking In podcasts? Go to ncmep.org/clockingin.